everyone, it is me, Sayuri, and I normally just record these videos and that is it. I normally just say what I'm thinking, but I have tried to record this several times now and it just hasn't worked. So I'm going to try and go through this as fast as possible. First things first, I had an 11-day plan to study 8 hours of Korean per day. After the second day, yes, after, I didn't update it yet, but I did do that. After the second day, I realized I had to apply for Korean language school, and that has been taking my time for, about a week now. And then the second thing that I would like to talk about is this. I started learning Mandarin. I decided to start this on the 27th, and I still have a long way to go, but basically there is no rhyme or reason to this. If you watch how I do note videos, then yeah, this will never have a video because it's just random stuff. This was Chinese Class 101, which I'm probably going to drop. While I did like Korean Class 101, Chinese Class 101 was not a good fit for me. And then this here was two beginner grammar points from the Grammar Wiki. So that's just like zheng cai and 没有, and I don't know if I'm doing that right. And then this here, these were the example sentences they had. These were some I made myself. This was just some practice, which honestly I don't know if it's any good. Probably going to start tweeting in Chinese too. This here is Lin Q, and I just decided to write all the new words that I didn't know here. Although I did have this little system. See all those dots and dashes? Those are what tells me what the tone is the first time I write it. So yeah. But after the second time I read it, I don't write it anymore. Second page of Lin Q. This was yesterday's, and I really didn't do anything. Also, this was starting today, and that comes to like the third thing. I had an interview for the Chinese department of my school because that's where I applied, and my language exchange partner sent me this list of questions that my college was likely to ask, and I wrote out like practice answers to just kind of get the general idea of like what I'm thinking onto paper. And so later, if they ask me a variation of the question, I can answer a variation of the answer just fine. And one of them was introduce yourself in Chinese. And I'm like, I don't know Chinese yet though. But I worked on a small introduction. I now know how to tell age. That's great. I know how to tell age. I know how to say where I'm from. I know how to introduce myself. So that's at least good. That was a little bit stressful as well. Although I also know how to formally say nice to meet you, basically. So it was fun, but I wish I hadn't spent like 5 hours on it because I ended up not needing it. I mean, better safe than sorry. The interview, I don't know actually how well it went because, well, I'm me. Like, I don't know what they were thinking, but everyone was really nice. All of the teachers were really nice. So whether I failed or not, I still feel fine about it. It's not like people were rude, because if they were rude, I probably would have broken down crying after the interview ended. But no, they were all great. Whether I failed or passed, I'm okay because the interview set me up for more, like if I have to do it again in the future, I'm much more comfortable with it now. It was over Zoom because we couldn't do it in person because of Corona. Okay, that is out of the way. Now to what I mentioned earlier, having to register for Korean language school. I have done Korean language school in the past, and it is by far one of the most efficient ways to learn Korean. Basically, they have people going through the entire Korean, going through and getting from 0 to 6 in about a year and a half. It is astonishing, and honestly, I understand why it works for the people who actually put the work in. It is a well-curated program. The textbooks, well, I mean, it depends on your school, but generally they are good. Basically, it's for anywhere from 3 to 6 hours a day in class, learning about half a chapter's worth of text, sometimes a whole chapter's worth, and you have sometimes max of 15 students, sometimes max of 20 students. Basically, you have a certain number of students. It is really efficient. You have 200 hours of class for 10 weeks, and it is just so good. Like, I study on my own most of the time, but that's mostly because I can't afford to take classes. I really enjoy classroom learning because it gives me the materials I need. It kind of shows me how to use them, and then outside of class, I can study them too. So when I was in, when I was in Korean language school last time, basically what I did was I'd arrive 2 hours before class started. I'd start studying because I'd only bring my textbooks, and then I'd go through the 4 hours of class. Then I'd get home, I'd real quick do my homework, and I might study 1 or 2 hours more, but honestly, I normally didn't need more than that. Although, now that I think about it, sometimes I would also do 2 hours before I left the house to go to school, so there is that. But usually I was eating breakfast at that time. Anyway, the main point of what I wanted to say about Korean language school is I will be in the dorms. I will have different roommates and everything, so I don't know how that is going to go, whether I can continue to do these videos, or whether or not I'm just going to have to put YouTube on hold for now, or just find somewhere better to record. Also, because I'm studying Chinese on my own while attending language school, I'm going to have to schedule that part of my day. So you will probably see the resurgence of this great notebook. It will probably mostly be for Chinese, whereas my Korean studies will be more focused on doing the work assigned from class and attending class, and then enjoying some downtime through listening, reading, or anything like that. Yeah, so for Chinese, I'm probably going to aim for 4 to 5 hours per day. I just realized that another thing that might be hard is I will not have prepped meals. That is one of the hardest things about coming out of quarantine. Just, there are no longer prepped meals. Prepped meals saved about an hour of time 3 times per day, so that was nice. Anyway, language school starts around mid-June, so I will not be setting any concrete schedules like this notebook until then. However, I will try to keep you guys updated if I make any progress. I'm not sure how much progress I will be making, but I do intend to study Chinese, and I'm really excited. I am still working on this little Korean, but a English pronunciation tip video, because I know my language exchange partner and a lot of other Korean people I've talked to have trouble with pronunciation of this certain thing. Although there are probably better videos out there, it's more of to practice my Korean and to teach a little bit in a way that maybe they haven't heard before. But also, I am working on a video in Chinese because I'm starting to learn Chinese and I want to start speaking more. Obviously, I invite all criticism of how I speak. Please, like, correct tones or word choice or grammar. All of that would be helpful. Thank you. Bye.